Cuckoo is a masterclass in queer cinema. Here's why. The other day, I went to go see Cuckoo in theaters. The last movie I was actually excited to see was the Saw prequel. And that's only because I have a hard-on for everything horror-related. The Saw series is one of my all-time favorites, but we aren't here to talk about that today. Today, we're here to talk about Cuckoo, starring Hunter Schafer of Euphoria fame. If you don't know who Hunter Schafer is, first of all, have you been living under a rock? But really, Hunter Schafer is best known for her role as Jules in the popular HBO drama Euphoria. Although she first came into the public eye for her activism work regarding North Carolina Bill HB 2, just another fucking bathroom bill. Like we need any more of those. She's now been in major motion pictures such as Belle, Hunger Games, Ballad of the Songbirds and Snakes. She's also become Mugler's Golden Girl, which for a fashion nerd like me is absolutely legendary, and I love that for her. Now that you have a little background on Schafer, you can kind of sort of see why I was so excited to see a horror movie with a trans lead in the year of our Lord 2024. Right when I start recording, the AC decides to kick on. You know what? We're gonna keep going. Sorry. Side note, this video is entirely full of spoilers, and there's nothing I can do about that to give a proper review. So if you are afraid of spoilers and actually want to go see the movie, go watch it, come back, and chill with me, and we'll get into the nitty-gritty details. I'm dead serious. It is an amazing movie. You won't regret it if you go see it in theaters. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into it. My cats are making it near impossible to film this fucking video. The movie starts slow. We open with some girl arguing with her parents, and she hears a screech from the nearby woods, after which she experiences some kind of seizure. After that, she bolts straight into the forest. Already fucking weird. We then cut to some really pretty shots of the countryside, and Schafer's character, Gretchen, in a moving truck with some dudes. Her parents and her stepsister, heavy on the step part of that. She wants us to know that that is not her real sister at all. They are driving in the car ahead of this moving truck. We learn her father and stepmother are architects for this weird German resort. The creepy dude Koenig who owns the place has some plan to make it grand and amazing. Creepy Koenig is already super interested in Gretchen from the get-go. And we get this vibe that we do not want to be around him, just like Gretchen doesn't. The thing is, they don't over-explain a single part of this backstory. They only give you what you need to understand exactly what's going on in that moment. Too many horror movies nowadays feed you the entire backstory on a silver platter and just expect you to be okay with it. Movies like Tarot and Smile are really good examples of these. I can't stand it. I hate it when movies do that, especially horror movies, but I digress. Creepy Koenig offers Gretchen a job. She takes it, seems like despite her father. The first night working there, as she's riding home on her bike, she sees some terrifying woman with like a hood and glasses, and she's out of there. She bolts for the hospital, smacks her head on a glass door. The police think it's a frickin' prank, you know, call it a day. Again, they don't over-explain any of this. They force you to have the same what the fuck moment that Gretchen is having, trying to piece all these things together. Gretchen's working one night at the hotel. She meets her love interest of the movie, Ed, and sees another guest throwing up like crazy in the lobby and then scarfing food down as they vomit. It was kind of gross. She ends up trying to run off with Ed, like completely run away. Before they get far out, they're stuck in a time loop. And this is one thing I love about this movie. This movie could have used these time loops as the easiest cop-out on the planet. But instead, they use it as like a plot device to make you realize what is going on in each step of this movie. I think the writers deserve a lot of props for that. Skipping ahead a bit, Gretchen met this detective dude at the hotel earlier in the movie. We get a weird vibe from him, but he wants to figure out who this hooded lady is because apparently she's the suspect of an entire murder case.
You're the murderer! I knew it! I knew it! You're such a bitch! You're such a fucking bitch!
They decide to stake out the lover's cabin one night and try and catch her, and inevitably, they fail. This scene is the only one that really irks me, mostly because they're trying to drive home the point that Gretchen is stupid and impulsive and a teenager and da-da-da-da-da, but I guess it kind of is needed for character development. After this, we learn Creepy Koenig is certifiably a nutcase. Insane.
I wanna know how I got these scars.
We also learn that Henry is a disgraced cop and that the hooded woman, she isn't even human. She's some weird human hybrid thing that relies on blood parasitism. Kind of like cuckoo birds. Creepy Koenig has been experimenting with these species and now thinks Gretchen might be a threat to their survival. Koenig locks her in a pool house, basically maces her with pheromones, and plays this weird little flute to summon the girl we saw at the beginning of the movie. So there we go, ties together. The hybrid tries to inseminate Gretchen with, I kid you not, like shoving her hand in her crotch and pulling out, you know. Thankfully, Not Cop breaks free just in time from Koenig and shoots both Koenig and the creature just in time. Henry and Gretchen run to the hospital. There's this super cool hide and seek scene, and Koenig and Henry end up unaliving each other. And Gretchen escapes with her sister completely unharmed. Now, it's a really good horror movie on its own, but there is one scene near the end that kind of just makes me believe this entire movie is some kind of allegory. Let me explain. While Gretchen is trying to save her stepsister in this hospital, the hooded woman comes after her, obviously. Gretchen is eventually able to take care of her with her butterfly knife, but that's not what got me. What got me is after Gretchen offs her, she tries to lift her head by her hair, and the hybrid lady's wig just falls off. To reveal a bald head. After this, there's also a part where Gretchen just chucks the wig in front of Koenig around a corner. And it's so deadpan, it just made me lose my mind. Between the wigs the hybrids wear and the way they inseminate women by basically jerking off, and honestly, the look of the hybrid woman throughout the entire movie, this is what I believe. I believe this movie is a blown-out characterization and allegory for how the far right sees trans women. That we're all just dressing up and cosplaying as women and lurking around in the night taking advantage of the real women like some freaky T-girl Mothman monster. I believe Hunter Schafer's character Gretchen represents what a trans girl actually is. And the hybrid women are characterizations of what the far right sees us as. Almost like some terrifying fairy tale. It's done absolutely beautifully. And this whole movie really makes you think without throwing everything at you. They make sure you know what the plot is right out of the gate without shoving things down your throat. I left feeling like genuine shock and awe at the writing of this movie and how topical it is without ever having to outright say it. The storytelling is top tier, and obviously we were overdue for a trans final girl, and I'm personally happy it was Hunter Schafer. What do you guys think? Have you seen Cuckoo? What are your thoughts on it? Are you gonna go see it now that I freaking broke it down for you? That's all I really have for you guys today. This is a little bit different for me. I wrote an entire script. I don't do video essays. I just watch them a lot, so I thought maybe this would be like a fun thing to do. Thank you guys for joining me today, and I will see you next time. Bye.